you are welcome in the course of numerical methods. In this particular module, we are discussing the interpolation methods. We have already discussed where we need interpolation, what are the perspectives of interpolation, and also what are the restrictions we have in interpolation methods. Also, we have discussed that we are having mainly two types of data set. One is equispaced and another one is unequispaced. We have already discussed about the interpolation formula where it will be applicable for both the cases, equispaced as well as unequispaced. And now we are going to discuss some of the interpolation methods where they will be only applicable for equispaced data set. One of them is Newton's forward interpolation formula. So let us start the class. The prerequisites for Newton's forward interpolation formula is the concept of forward difference operator and also the forward difference table. Already we know what is our forward difference operator, which is denoted by this, and we know that if we apply del on fx, it will give us f of x plus h minus fx. Not only that, we have also gathered the idea about that if we have the data set in the form of x0, x1, suppose xn, and it is y0, y1 up to yn, then how to find out the values of first order forward difference operator, second order forward difference operator, third order forward difference operator, and so on, and how to find out the values like this. Depending on the value of n up to which the forward difference operator will proceed, it is also known to us. And not only that, we are also having the concept that generally it will take the shape like this. So this is one aspect, and another aspect I want to share with you before going into Newton's forward interpolation formula, that is, if we have n plus 1 data, then we will have the polynomial with n degree maximum. Now, in general, there are so many ways to express the nth degree polynomial. Suppose I want to write it, suppose p1x. I can write one nth degree polynomial where we are summing them up, some terms, where each and every term is having maximum nth degree, max. So if you sum them up and simplify, you will get here also max nth degree. And I think if you recall, you will get that this structure is followed in Lagrange's interpolation formula. But just for a little concept building, though we are restricted in applying only the working rules, proofs will be discussed if required then in the class. So p2x, I am constructing another nth degree polynomial where the nth degree polynomial may be constructed as a constant plus, suppose another constant with x, then another constant with x square plus dot 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 plus cn x to the power n, where obviously cn is not equal to 0. And in this construction of this particular polynomial, I can use the linear factors like, suppose it is c0 plus c1 x minus x0 plus c2 x minus x0 x minus x1 plus c3 x minus x0 x minus x1 x minus x2 and so on, So you can see that the terms are actually with 0th degree, then first degree, then second. In this way we are going for the nth one, and when we are summing them up we are obviously going to get a nth degree polynomial. So to be precise, the second process is adopted in Newton's forward as well as in backward interpolation formula. So it is nothing but one clue to you where you can think about that what is the process we are adopting, what is the fundamental polynomial we are assuming by which we are constructing Newton's forward interpolation formula. But before going into the next page, I just want to share with you that if the original function is fx, which is not known to us, and if we are predicting the polynomial, interpolating polynomial as px, which is known to us because we have generated it, it has to be maintained in every interpolation technique that f of xi is equal to p of xi for all I given. That means if you are having x0, x1, x2, x3, x4 and correspondingly y0, y1, y2, y3, y4, rather you can say it as fx0, fx1, fx2, fx3, fx4, these 5 values has to be exactly same if I calculate those 5 values through my interpolating polynomial. And basically this philosophy is used to generate or to construct the interpolating polynomial px, keeping it in our mind that it has to be same with fx. So our restriction will be there in the construction of px. So let us proceed further and let us see what we are getting from Newton's forward interpolation formula. So suppose we are writing the working rule as nx, it is my interpolating polynomial, as f of x0 plus u by 1 factorial del f of x0, obviously you can write y0, del y0 and so on, plus u into u minus 1 by factorial 2 del 2 fx0. And obviously now you got the symmetry in the construction of these terms. So we are now reaching to u into u minus 1 into u minus 2 dot 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 up to u minus n minus 1. So you can write it as u minus n minus 1, or you can use any bar, or you can just simplify it to write it as u minus n plus 1. It is completely up to your choice. That will not create any difference in the problem, along with del n fx0. Now here only one thing is not mentioned earlier, that is, what is u? U is nothing but x minus x0 by h. Now before going into the problem, we must look at the expression very carefully. It is not that we are going to keep the information in my mind. It is the case that where we can keep the symmetry and the synchronization of this particular structure in our mind. So what is x? If x is given, that means this is the point where we want to find out the value. Okay, that means we want to find out the value of fx. If x is given, that means xg I can write it as, so we want to find out fxg, and obviously this xg is not included in x0 to xn, because if it is included, that means the value is known to us already because it is given. Okay, And what is h? H is obviously the gap between two consecutive values of xi, because we know that we are talking about or equispaced data. Now for symmetry, all of us are able to identify that it is 1 factorial, 2 factorial. In this way it is proceeding and it is coming to n factorial. And if in the second term it is u, in the third term it is u into u minus 1, then in the final term it will be u into u minus 1 into u minus 2 up to u minus n minus 1. And the beauty is that if you have n plus 1 number of data, then your forward difference will go up to del n. And look at this, here we are having x0 to xn, and obviously corresponding y0 to yn is also known to us. And for this n plus 1 data set, when we are going to construct the forward difference table, then we can go as max up to del n, and the value will be del n fx0. Look at this, this is the last term of our interpolating polynomial. So before going into any example, I just want to mention one thing. There are two patterns. First one is find out the interpolating polynomial. So in these types of problems, obviously xg will not be provided, so our answer of these types of questions will be a polynomial with degree n. So if there are 4 values, we will get a polynomial of degree 3 and so on. And second pattern is that find out y at x equal to xg. That means here now xg is given. So here you have to first find out the interpolating polynomial using the given data set, and then you put x equal to xg over there to give you the value. This is one way. Another way is that you can find out u by putting xg minus x0 by h, and then you can put the value of u here directly in the formula to get the value of n xg directly. So there is no such restriction that what you are going to follow. There is no such restriction. Only one thing you have to keep it in your mind, that you can follow the thing where you are comfortable, but if multiple values are asked, then finding out the interpolating polynomial first is the better way. And also one more information I want to share with you. When the requirement is to find out the value of the given function at a particular independent variable's value, which is very close to the upper portions of the given table, then Newton's forward interpolation formula will be more effective. So let us go for one problem. So these types of problems are actually given sometimes in description or sometimes in tabular form. So let us take a problem like this. From the following table, look at the question pattern. Find f1.02. First of all, from the question, before going to the table, we can see that we have to find out the functional value at a given point. That means we can use directly this process to find out u first and then put it in the fundamental formula. I will show you in this way, but I will request all of you that for the given problem what I am going to solve it now, you please try to find out the interpolating polynomial first from the given data set and then put x equal to 1.02 over there to get the result and tally it. It will be for your better concept. So I am writing the table first. It is given to us. Our job is to check whether they are equispaced or not, and we can see yes, they are equispaced, and the value of h is 0.1, and the corresponding value of y is given is also as 0. In this situation, I just want to remind you all that please practice the problems when you are doing it manually with the help of calculators, not by mobile but by some calculator which is allowed in your specific examinations. So this is the table what is given to us. Now obviously we will construct the forward difference table for this one, and we will construct the forward difference table very strongly because we know that for the first one del y I have to subtract the 0.8415 from 0.8912 and we will get it as 0.0497. Similarly the next one will be 0.0408 and the next one will be 0.0316. Now we are going for the second order forward difference operator, and where we are getting it as 0.0089 and minus 0.0092. So as there are 4 data, we will go up to del 3, and in del 3 what we are getting minus 0.0003. So now going for the next part, I just want to show you, rather I can say that I want to make a recall. It is our y0, y1, y2, y3. So it will be our del y0, del y1, del y2. It is del 2 y0, del 2 y1, and it is del 3 y0. So now if I go for the interpolating polynomial, what I can write, fx0 means y0 plus u by 1 factorial del fx0 plus u into u minus 1 by factorial 2 del square fx0 plus u into u minus 1 into u minus 2 by factorial 3 del 3 fx0. Obviously there is no other terms because del 3 fx0 is our last term. What I am trying to emphasize is that when you are going to see the thing, actually we are, look at this, we are now requiring for these calculations the total table has to be constructed, but we are now going to use this part only in our requirement. So in the table of forward difference operator, we are actually interested in this part in case of Newton's forward interpolation formula. We will show you that what will be the requirement for Newton's backward interpolation formula in the next class, in the next lecture. So now our job is to complete the problem. You can complete the problem by any means. up to your choice. So here you can put the values as well as you can find out the value of u. After that also you can do it. So what is u? U is x minus x0 by h, and here x is given 1.02 minus x0 is 1.00, and h is in our calculation 0.1. So what we are getting, it is as 0.2. Now the final line from this table, fx0 means y0. Y0 is known to us 0.8415, then plus u is 0.2 by 1 factorial, so I am not writing it, into del fx0 means del y0, so it will be 0.0497 and plus 0.2 into 0.2 minus 1 by 2 factorial, that is 2, and then del 2 fx0, that means this value. So I can write it here as minus 0.0089, and finally plus 0.2, then 0.2 minus 1, then 0.2 minus 2 by factorial 3, that means 6, into minus 0.0003, and after simplifying this, obviously you will get it as 0.852136. So this is the value asked for, that is, it is nothing but n 1.02. One interesting part is that 1.02 is staying over here, which is closer to the upper value of the given table, which gives us the information that go for Newton's forward interpolation formula. So I am not extending this lecture anymore. I just request you to go through these references for more problems in more other approaches from these resources, as well as also please do some practice. This is just a problem for your practice, but only one problem is not enough. So I want to thank you all. Happy listening, happy learning.